Good morning. It's so nice to meet you and
Hi.
really appreciate that you're here to share some of your feedback with our product, PeriActive Rinse. So I'd just like to start out by asking you to briefly tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, age, city, state.
Okay, well, my name is Gale. I live in Branford, Connecticut. I've lived in Connecticut for 50 years, which is part of my age. I'm 86. And I started with PeriActive 5, 6 years ago when I started having a lot of canker sores.
Hmm,
And so my dentist recommended that I try this and see if we couldn't tamp it down, and it worked.
okay.
I've been using it ever since.
Okay, so your dentist had basically recommended the product for to treat the canker sores.
Yeah. Well, he uses it in his office all the
Okay,
time when he can get it. He, like me, he can't get it either right now, but he was using it in his office, and he said, I really think if you use this on a regular basis, it's going to clear this up for you. And it had.
okay. And did he tell you anything about why it would do that?
Well, he just felt that, the canker sore virus is in your mouth, but if you can keep your mouth clean and thoroughly rinsed, it doesn't have as much of an opportunity to flare up. So
Right. So
that's
basically, it's the inflammation that was the issue, it sounds like. And he gave you this to address that. Okay. Basically, Periactive is known to reduce inflammation, soothe the tissue, and help with healing. So that's why I was asking you if he had spoken to you about that, because typically it reduces inflammation and also, as you mentioned and alluded to, is the bacteria in your mouth. We have viruses that we get all the time, but this helps reduce that bacteria, especially the bad bacteria. So that would certainly help with your condition.
right.
So has have did he have anything else in your mouth that he used your product for, that he recommended the product for, that he thought could help? Any other gum issues?
Well, part of it's my age, but I've also had a fair amount of gum recession, and he thought it might help with that. And I don't, and actually, the last time I saw him, he made the comment that he thought I had another 10,000 miles on those babies, is what he said. So he's a fan. He really likes it. He thinks it's good for his patients.
Uh-huh. Okay. And that's great. So ultimately, it sounds like since you've been using it, your mouth has felt better and you haven't gotten the canker sores back again.
What's interesting was when I ran out of it and you all weren't able to continue shipping it, I started using a different mouthwash. It was not nearly as effective, and I have had a few canker sores come back. They don't last as long with that rinse, but they have come back. So
Uh-huh. Okay.
waiting patiently.
Interesting. Okay, that's always great to hear. That's why we ask for feedback. And I happen to be a hygienist, and my goal is always to um, make sure that patients have a healthy mouth. And when I hear this feedback that it's helping the patient, it makes me feel good as a hygienist, because you use a product, you want it to work, but like you just said, not every product works the same way. So we're thrilled that you really got some good relief from the product and some benefits from it. Just knowing a little bit about what we talked about, do you think that you would recommend this to somebody that had any kind of gum issues or periodontal issues or something, of that nature?
Well, I think I'd recommend it to anybody. I think if you don't have the issues, then you can take it prophylactically, obviously. But if you do have issues, it's going to help. My husband uses it, and and we're elderly. And so our gums do tend to recede, but this has helped a lot to even, ameliorate that as well.
Okay, great. And that's terrific. And how did your husband come upon it? Did you recommend it to him or did the dentist?
Well, our dentist, we both go to the same dentist, and our dentist sent it home with me. And I said to him, "You really ought to start using this."
Okay.
So he did. And then I had to buy two bottles instead of one at a time. That's okay.
Okay. So he said his mouth felt better after he used it, or
Yeah, and his whole mouth looks better.
his mouth looks better, his gums. Okay, great. Okay, so is it fair to say that you're a fan of our product?
I think it's very fair to say he and my husband, me and my husband, are both big fans of PeriActive.
Okay, great. Well, I want to thank you for sharing this information with us, so that others can hear from real people that use the product and have gotten feedback, like we've discussed here. So thank you very much, and I wish you continued success with the product.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.